Hello everyone, welcome back to Learning Ongoing. So in this video we would be discussing about Model United Nations and Youth Parliament. So this is going to be a series of videos जहां हम देखेंगे, सबसे पहले हम डिस्कस करेंगे कि Model United Nation और MUNs and Youth Parliaments NYPs होता क्या है. Secondly, how they benefit us and what are the different committees, and उसके बाद हम एक धीरे धीरे हम एक कमेटी का देखेंगे कि उसके अंदर क्या प्रोसीजर्स होते हैं, कैसे हम प्रिपेयर कर सकते हैं एंड कैसे हम पार्टिसिपेट कर सकते हैं. सो कमिंग ऑन टू द वेरी फर्स्ट टॉपिक कि आखिर मॉडल यूनाइटेड नेशंस एंड यूथ पार्लियामेंट्स होता क्या है. तो एक एजुकेशनल इनिशिएटिव है to empower young people to engage with global issues and to learn about diplomacy, public speaking and international cooperation. So these are the activities which stimulate like a real, जो एक रियल यूनाइटेड नेशंस कॉन्फ्रेंस होती हैं या कोई रियल पार्लियामेंट होता है उसका ही मॉक वर्जन होता है, ये उसी की तरह फॉलो किया जाता है. वैसी कमिटीज़ होती हैं, वैसी सिमिलर से रूल्स एंड प्रोसीजर्स होते हैं. सो it's we can say a stimulated activity of the real United Nations or the real parliaments, and it gives us and it's activities like these gives students an hand-on opportunity and experience that how the world leaders and the policy makers discuss, deliberate on the various topics, how they make laws, how they make policies. ओके, नाउ कमिंग ऑन टू द MUN कॉन्फ्रेंसेस, जहाँ हर मतलब स्टूडेंट्स को एक पोर्टफोलियो दिया जाता है वेयर दे रिप्रेजेंट डिफरेंट कंट्रीज एंड वर्क टुगेदर टू एड्रेस and discuss about the various global challenges, global conflicts, like we can say they can talk about climate change, human rights conflicts like Palestine, or human rights issues like hunger and many more. So how do they do this? They research, they prepare their position papers, they speak in the interest of their assigned nation. For example, if a person has been assigned China, so he must be knowing the foreign policy of China, what are the foreign relation of China and China and different countries around China, and how would China respond to this issue, what would be China's policies, right? So he need to be adhered to the country assigned or the portfolio assigned to that person. This is a form of experimental learning approach which helps to foster critical thinking, problem solving as an issue is raised and and students point out solution for this. It's a best way to enhance communication skills, as these skills are very important for the future leaders. Similarly, youth parliament क्या होता है? यूथ पार्लियामेंट को हम ये कह सकते हैं कि यूथ पार्लियामेंट एक स्टिमुलेटेड वर्जन है इंडियन पार्लियामेंट का. तो यूथ पार्लियामेंट्स में इंडियन कमिटीज़ होती हैं लाइक लोकसभा, राज्यसभा, AIPPM, स्टेक होल्डर्स मीट. तो यूथ पार्लियामेंट्स में हमें जो हम लोग इलेक्ट करते हैं, रिप्रेजेंटेटिव इलेक्ट करते हैं, वो कैसे लेजिस्लेचर में बैठते हैं, कैसे लॉज बनाते हैं, कैसे डिबेट करते हैं, कैसे वोट करते हैं, हाउ डू दे इंगेज द डेमोक्रेटिक डिसीजन मेकिंग प्रोसेस, हाउ डिफरेंट थिंग्स टेक प्लेस. तो इसके थ्रू बच्चा गवर्नमेंट पॉलिसी को समझ पाता है, सिविक इंगेजमेंट कैसे कर पाता है, दे आर एबल टू present their views on the topic or the policy, and basically they participating in youth parliament would make them somehow a informed citizen. क्योंकि जब आप उसके बारे में रिसर्च करोगे आपको उसके बारे में 3-4 बातें और पता लगेगी, बिकॉज डायरेक्टली और इनडायरेक्टली वी ऑल आर लिंक्ड टू पॉलिटिक्स. फॉर एग्जाम्पल कोई भी लॉ होता है, जैसे नेशनल एजुकेशन पॉलिसी आई, हमें उसके बारे में जानना क्यों ज़रूरी है? क्योंकि एज अ स्टूडेंट कहीं ना कहीं वो हमें तो इफेक्ट करेगा. सो समहाउ पार्टिसिपेटिंग इन यूथ पार्लियामेंट्स हमें अब हमारा पर्सपेक्टिव रखने देते हैं, हमें इन्फॉर्म सिटीजन बनाते हैं, बिकॉज वी डिस्कस एंड डेलिब्रेट अपॉन दैट टॉपिक. कमिंग ऑन टू द नेक्स्ट थिंग, दैट इज़ हिस्ट्री ऑफ यूनाइटेड नेशंस. अब हमने जान लिया कि मॉडल यूनाइटेड नेशंस क्या होता है, यूथ पार्लियामेंट क्या होता है. अब हम देखेंगे कि हिस्ट्री क्या है, UN कैसे स्टार्ट हुआ. तो जब वर्ल्ड वॉर 2 हुआ था उससे पहले लीग ऑफ नेशंस था जो कि वर्ल्ड पीस के बारे में बात करता था, बट समहाउ लीग ऑफ नेशन वर्ल्ड वॉर नहीं रोक पाया. उसको पीस के लिए बनाया गया था कि दुनिया देश भर में शांति रहे, बट स्टिल वर्ल्ड वॉर 2 हुआ. एंड वर्ल्ड वॉर 2 होने के बाद सभी कंट्रीज़ को लगा कि हमारे पास एक ऑर्गेनाइजेशन होनी चाहिए, जैसे क्लास मॉनिटर नहीं होता, वो सब बच्चों को मॉनिटर करता है. तो तो लाइक हमने अभी बात करी कि कैसे एक क्लास मॉनिटर होता है, वो पूरी क्लास को मॉनिटर करता है। उसी हिसाब से वर्ल्ड लेवल पे एक ऑर्गेनाइजेशन है यूनाइटेड नेशंस, जो कि कब फॉर्म हुई थी, वो हुई थी 24 अक्टूबर को 1945 आफ्टर द वर्ल्ड वॉर 2। बिकॉज वर्ल्ड वॉर 2 से पहले लीग ऑफ नेशंस था, जो कि 1920 में बना था आफ्टर वर्ल्ड वॉर 1। तो जब वर्ल्ड वॉर 2 हो गया, दैट मीन्स कि लीग ऑफ नेशन एक फेलियर था, तभी यूनाइटेड नेशंस को बनाया गया, इस ऑर्गेनाइजेशन को बनाया गया टू इंश्योर कि दुनिया में पीस बनी रहे, कॉन्फ्लिक्ट्स ना हो, वर्ल्ड वॉर 3 ना हो, एंड जो सारे मतलब इश्यूज़ हैं उनके ऊपर बात करी जा सके। डिफरेंट इश्यूज़, इकोनॉमिक डेवलपमेंट, ह्यूमन राइट्स हो गया, इन्वायरमेंट प्रोटेक्शन, क्लाइमेट चेंज हो रहा है, उसके ऊपर बात करना। तो दिस वाज द बेसिकली this was the main reason why United Nations was formed, to avoid further conflicts। एंड कहीं ना कहीं डीकोलोनाइजेशन में भी यूएन ने बहुत मदद की, एंड धीरे धीरे यूएन एक्सपैंड होता रहा। 51 कंट्रीज से आई गेस इट वाज चार्टर साइन हुआ था सैन फ्रांसिस्को में, जिसके हेडक्वार्टर्स थे न्यूयॉर्क सिटी में। एंड उसके बाद आज की टाइम की हम बात करें तो 193 कंट्रीज है। सॉरी फॉर दिस कि जो स्लाइड पे इट इज़ मेंशन रॉन्ग दैट 190, बट टुडे देर आर 193 कंट्रीज विच आर पार्ट ऑफ यूएन। एंड यूएन एक प्लेटफॉर्म की तरह काम करता है, जहाँ डायलॉग एंड नेगोशिएशन, डिस्कशन एंड डेलिब्रेशन के थ्रू हम डिफरेंट ग्लोबल इश्यूज़ के ऊपर बात कर सकते हैं। एंड यूएन की खुद की भी एक इंटरनेशनल पीस एंड सिक्योरिटी फोर्स है, इसकी खुद की मिलिट्री है। एंड समहाउ दिस इज़ हेल्पफुल इन जब भी कोई एडवर्स कैलामिटी आती है या कोई भी ऐसी कॉन्फ्लिक्ट आती है, तो कहीं ना कहीं पीस कीपिंग के लिए या कॉन्फ्लिक्ट रेजोल्यूशन के लिए यूएन हमेशा आगे रहा है। सो दिस इज़ द बेसिकली द हिस्ट्री ऑफ United Nations, that how it was formed, what was the motto behind it. So this is a rough history of United Nations, that किसी ऑर्गेनाइजेशन का फेलियर, दैट ऑर्गेनाइजेशन वाज लीग ऑफ नेशन, वो फेल हुआ तब जाके यूएन बना, एंड यूएन इज स्टिल लाइक फंक्शनिंग। एंड इफ़ वी टॉक अबाउट फर्दर, यूएन की अलग अलग ऑर्गन्स है, लाइक सिक्योरिटी काउंसिल हो गया, इंटरनेशनल कोर्ट ऑफ जस्टिस, जनरल असेंबली, एंड ह्यूमन राइट्स काउंसिल UNHRC, वर्ल्ड हेल्थ ऑर्गेनाइजेशन। तो डिफरेंट इसके नीचे डिफरेंट ऑर्गेनाइजेशन भी हैं, डिफरेंट कमिटीज़ भी है, वी कैन से डिफरेंट ऑर्गन्स भी हैं। लाइक अब हमने देख लिया कि यूएन की हिस्ट्री क्या थी, हाउ वाज यूएन फॉर्म्ड एंड व्हाट वाज इट्स ऑब्जेक्टिव। अब हम देखेंगे कि MUNs एंड यूथ पार्लियामेंट्स में पार्टिसिपेट करने का बेनिफिट क्या होता है। तो लाइक first we could say that जो young लोग होते हैं, when they participate in such events, it helps them to have diplomatic negotiation powers and help them to enhance their decision making processes, and they are able to experience the real world operations of the United Nations. And by participating in this, it gives them a real insight that how global issues and international issues are tackled, how international relations are there between different countries. They help them to understand what is the multilateral diplomacy that is prevailing. For example, like if the issue they are talking about in a committee is Israel Palestine, so they would be able to know that what is going on, how different countries are reacting to it, what has been the history of the whole issue. And if we talk about, if in UNHRC they are been talking about human rights, so human rights are the basic rights which are entitled to every human being. So somehow they will help them to enhance their skills and would be able to help them to think at a wider perspective. And somehow one of the key factor which I also experienced while being part of MUNs and NYPs is that somehow it helps us in personal growth and developing our skills. For example, when you initially participate in MUNs, you are a bit hesitant to keep your point, but when you start participating, a sort of confidence comes in and you are able to speak. That fear of public speaking opens up, you are able to speak more. Skill enhancement hoti hai because in such events we are told to research, make analysis. It helps us to develop our leadership skills, and we are able to think critically, have negotiation abilities, which somehow helps us in our future career fields. Like example, if a person wants to pursue international relations further, or politics, or law, or business, so it would work as a supplement in this. It would help them to improve their skills, enhance their skills. And it also somehow it puts understanding deeper understanding of how different cultures and different perspective and different people from different country community think, and how do they keep their point, how do they keep their argument. And interconnectedness बढ़ती है. Like if you are going to a national youth parliament, you would be meeting people from different backgrounds जिनका thought process अलग होगा, जिनके opinions अलग होंगे, so you would be able to have a wider perspective. तो लाइक अब हमने इंडिविजुअल लेवल पे तो देख लिया हाउ इट्स हेल्पफुल फॉर द पर्सनल ग्रोथ एंड स्किल डेवलपमेंट. अब हम देखेंगे कि इसका वाइडर पर्सपेक्टिव क्या है. सो इफ़ वी लुक इट through the wider perspective, it helps to cultivate a new generation of global citizens who are actively engaged in discussing and deliberating about various international challenges through stimulation, having a hand-on experience on these organizations, how they work, and how such issues like climate change, human rights, sustainable development, various pandemic issues, conflicts, that how they can be resolved. This helps them to develop empowerment and to make them bring about a positive impact on the world around them. Now we have talked about the benefits. Now we would be talking about that how to prepare for the conference. So one of the basic thing which one needs to do is to research and prepare. You need to research about the topic which the main agenda which is there, and you need to you need to even research about the sub agendas which can be possibly there, and you have to prepare the position papers, speeches. Then you have to work on your negotiation skills. For example, you gave your speech, you gave your GSL, and there have been a delegate who did a cross question. Now in the case of cross questioning, you should be like aware of your topic so that you are able to answer that question. And secondly, your listening skills also matter in this. You need to hear about the people, even need to hear what other people are saying. You need to hear their speeches so that you can point out things, you can question them. Then another thing which is important is collaborating with the people around you and working in a team, right? And one of the foremost thing which is the most important is public speaking and presentation. Suppose you have done your research work very well and you have good negotiation power, but if you are not able to express it, how would your thoughts would reach to the executive board or the people around you? So public speaking and how you present your thoughts also matters. So you need to articulate properly. Now coming on to the roles and responsibilities. So as a delegate, you have to represent the country or the portfolio which you are being allotted, and you should entitle to the portfolio you are being allotted. You need to research, you need to draft your position papers, deliver speeches and negotiate, keeping in mind the portfolio you have been assigned to. You can't go away from the entity of the portfolio you have been assigned to. Secondly, you would also be assigned a committee. Like there are different committees, UNHRC, UNSC, UNGA. So you would be given topic according to that committee, and you need to present the knowledge and your knowledge towards the topic and your critical thinking, problem solving ability, and express your words through your communication skills. Then it comes to the youth parliaments, where basically it's a stimulated version of Indian Parliament, where you can have different committees like Lok Sabha, Rajya Sabha, AIPPM, and when I started my NYP journey, I believe for me the easiest committee was AIPPM. It was more fun, and in AIPPM there are different also procedures, and there are different rules and all. Like we even have POI, point of order, point of information, that I would also be telling you about in the next upcoming videos. Then you can even be an observer, like you can observe how the conference works and have an experience like कैसे proceedings होती हैं. Then you can through your observation you can analyze things and then participate. This will help you to have a greater knowledge that how to begin, how to give speeches, how to give GSLs, how to give opening statements. So these are the roles and responsibilities. Coming on to the last and one of the most important and one of the most fun aspect of MUNs and NYPs is networking and collaborations. When you participate in such conferences, youth parliaments, you have an opportunity to network with peers around the world. If you go for international conferences, you will meet people from different countries, and if you are participating within India, you will uh, see people from different states. Like the first the first NYP I participated, I encountered people from different states, and I made new friends, I made new connections, I got to know a lot of things, and somehow this helps one to grow, and this also provides its opportunities. Like those friends of mine who were from different states, they shared me that how parliaments happen in their states and all those things, and somehow such networking and collaborations are important for further partnerships, initiative, or anything which would help you to bring and which would help you to look onto a new perspective. And when you build a new connection, you would able to exchange ideas, collaborate on different things. So somehow participating in MUNs, NYPs builds us a nice network, and helps us to collaborate with people, helps us to make new friends. And with this, I rest my case here, and if you have any doubts regarding anything which I have mentioned in the video, you can surely comment down and I'll definitely answer. Baki, in the upcoming videos, I'll be discussing about what is a private session, what is a public session, and I would be telling you about things which are particular to a committee. Like we would be discussing about Lok Sabha, Rajya Sabha, UN committees.